Well, for the February issue, we actually the whole story I guess I would say would be I was doing an illustration for a January issue of Urbanite, and when I get to meet with Alex Castro, the art director, he like we were talking about the illustrators that I know and that he worked with, blah blah blah, and Brian Payne could come up as in the conversation, and I said, he's my best friend. We've known each other for like 6 years now. This and that, or 7 years now, actually, yeah, almost. He got really excited about it, and he totally had this vision of seeing us collaborating on a project.
So after meeting with Alex the first time and seeing how excited he was about letting us really do whatever we wanted, we talked about like plans on how we're gonna do this, and and the first time we met to talk about the project, we just sat down and talked about the idea of love and all its different aspects, and like as we were talking about that, we got into we don't want to do things that are marketable aspects of love, like chocolate candies or something like that. We were like, that's just a product that people use to show love. So we wanted to get deeper into what it really meant, I guess.
Because in one of our conversations, one of the most important thing was how love is actually a really personal feeling and idea and experience. So we want to we want to show that through our work, our personal experiences, personal struggles, or personal everything that we have, about love, and reflected onto our pieces, like with what we did with how we did with the, cover, when we did those hands. Hands are really personal. It's like getting two people together, and, has that connection. And with the Baltimore love, we push it into another area. Like, there was always this understanding of us personally pushing the idea of love and personalizing into ourselves, or our vision, I guess. Mm-hmm. And that was the most important part for the whole project.
Talking about it before we even started, doing any kind of artwork or anything.
Knowing Brian for so many years, and him knowing me, and being part of each other's life for so long, knowing each other's dirty, secrets about love. No, but we know each other's what we have gone through, what we have done, so knowing that insight about a person actually helps out a lot in a project like this, because I don't know. Does that make sense? One of the basic ideas that we had was Brian loves texture, and he's, I think, a pro and so good at that kind of stuff. So he was working a lot in background texture stuff, and I was doing some of the hands, some of the figurative drawings, and but
yeah, it kind of just fell naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was the most difficult piece, because I think it's such a personal story to the author that if we were to take any parts of his life and illustrate them scene for scene, I think it might do injustice to his story, because it's kind of reinterpreted through us. Mm-hmm. But we didn't want to be that specific. So
we had some ideas. We were thinking about the being from the same mold, docking being two ships in the same dock, and wearing into the same shoes or something. We were playing with those ideas, but they were a little bit too obscure. They weren't too relatable to the story. But at the end, we talking and talking, because that was the last piece that we handed in, I guess, and the more we sit down and talk and drank coffee and analyze it, we figured that let's just keep it simple. It's just
for something like that, it's we could explain what we were thinking, but it's always up to the person looking at it. And after reading the story, you can take what emotions that you get whatever your history is, and look at an image that is just representational. It's not supposed to be like specific to the story.
Yeah, I think in illustration, the main thing that you have to keep in mind that you have an audience, that like everyday person that you have that's reading it, and you have to make it personable a little bit, and also have your own perspective to it, and that's what we tried to do.
All right.
Oh, pop your chest thing.
Did you get that? You want to zoom in?
Do you want me to do it again?